Hi guys, and welcome to the Sideline Show. I'm Bruce McLean, and I'm joined here with Matthew Nessel. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different since there was no games to really cover. So we're going to start off with a preview of the NBA Finals, which starts tomorrow night in Denver.
Tonight.
Oh, tonight. It is
It's
Thursday, so
Thursday,
it
yeah.
starts tonight.
I
Used to
think
filming
it
on
was
Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So it starts tonight in Denver. So you want to give a little preview?
Yeah, I mean, luckily for the Heat, they still were able to get some rest, but I think it should be a good series where we're looking at the 1 seed versus the 8 seed. You know, have we ever seen an 8 seed?
This is the first time a team will be playing the 8 seed twice in the playoffs.
Oh.
I don't know if that's a real stat. Probably is.
But I mean, I think the Heat, they're coming off a 7-game series. I think a lot of people have lost faith in them after what was maybe not the best performance when you look at games 4 through 7 in that series. I expect them, though, to make this a competitive series and maybe even pull out the win because that's just all we've seen the Heat do this postseason.
It's not, by the way.
It's not?
The Spurs were the 1 seed in '99. So they did it too.
That's unfortunate. Well, second team ever.
Second team
Good
ever.
stat. But
Fun stat.
I mean, the Nuggets, on the other hand, we have not seen them falter once this postseason.
Not a single road loss yet. I mean, home loss yet. And they've been absolutely dominant. You do have to wonder how much the huge rest puts into effect for the Nuggets, especially early on in the series, because of course by the end of the series they'll probably be pretty sharp. You're not worried about guys like Jokic, but you're worried about guys like Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray. For the Heat being on short rest, you're not worried about guys like Bam and Duncan Robinson, but you are worried about guys like Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and that's really just because of the ankle injury, and they asked him about it at the media day for the finals, and he said his answer was if he's 100%, he said no one cares. I'm expected to go out there and play my best, but the reality is if he was 100%, he'd say he was 100%. So it's a non-answer, but he knows that ankle is still bothering him, and we saw it bother him. But at the end of the day, he's got to go out there and play like it isn't, because that's the only chance they have of winning.
The Denver Nuggets, I think the key for the Heat is to have lockdown defense. Bam Adebayo is probably the most important player for the Nuggets, because if you can't contain Jokic, you can't contain the offense of the Denver Nuggets. And if you can't contain their offense, then there's no way you might be able to take a game with them if you guys are going for game like point for point, possession for possession, but you can't win a series like that. They're the best offense, one of the best offense of all time. They're better than, statistically, they're better than the Kevin Durant Warriors.
Yeah, which is it actually a better offense?
No, yeah, but it's a more efficient offense,
yeah.
Right? And an offense that I guess needs to score more points than that Warriors team did. They didn't really need to do much in the regular season, but.
And I mean, the thing is, not only are they a great offense, they are a great matchup for this Heat defense that likes to add in zone. They are the best zone beating the team with all of Jokic's abilities to find his cutters and just with the three-point shooting on the team. I think we're going to have to see Bam try his best to guard him without needing a double. And obviously, you're not going to be able to contain him doing that, but the hope is then you can contain his playmaking. If you can hold him to maybe 8 assists a game instead of that 10 or 11, that would be massive.
I think one of the big things that the Heat are going to have to utilize is when we look at Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. I know it was like 2 weeks ago, but we saw the only time AD was really effective on offense was when the Lakers allowed him to be sort of a free safety in the paint and try to stop Jokic the best way possible.
Yeah.
I think they almost need to have Bam have a similar role to that.
The thing is, though, they don't. I mean, AD might have been effective, but as a strategy as a whole, we saw the Nuggets they were like, we loved when they did that, and it makes sense they switched to that. I think the Lakers had a false sense of confidence in it because it worked well without them adjusting in Game 1, but after that, AD himself, I think, played that role about as well as anyone can, but was it actually effective in holding that Nuggets offense?
Mm-hmm.
Not really. And I think Bam can be a lot more effective in a guarding up type of role, especially because he also has that switch ability. So
he is fast.
You could throw him on to Jamal Murray if they get into that
it.
pick and roll, which we know they'd love to favor a lot.
I think one of the big things, though, is going to be who is Jimmy Butler going to guard. Being one of the better perimeter defenders in the league with a bad ankle and needing to be the focal point of this offense, I wouldn't be surprised to see him guard a guy like Aaron Gordon.
It's definitely going to be Aaron Gordon's going to be his matchup, right?
Yeah, and I think Aaron Gordon's going to guard him.
Yeah, and that's going to be a tough matchup because Aaron Gordon is a guy who he plays some physical defense.
Yeah, he does.
And Jimmy's problem right now is his elevation and his burst are a little bit questionable. And maybe versus a smaller defender, he would still be able to shoot over him a little bit.
Yeah, like that's what happened in the
down.
Celtics series because the Celtics really didn't have that wing defender to.
Well, they didn't initially, but then they switched to he had guys like Horford on him, Derek White who plays bigger than he is, and that was when he started to struggle. Was when they threw bigger guys on him, and Aaron Gordon is that guy. He's big. I think he will give Jimmy Butler a lot of problems, especially if that ankle is.
Yeah, I think one of the bigger matchups though will be the Max Strus Michael Porter Jr. matchup.
Yeah, that matchup could swing games.
Yeah, because if Max Strus is able to capitalize on Michael Porter Jr.'s kind of, it's not bad defense, but it's
dumb.
It's dumb defense, and Michael Porter's defense is pretty much that he has long arms.
Yeah.
Not saying he's a bad defensive player. I mean, it's been relatively effective. He's in the NBA Finals for a reason. But if Strus is able to be cut and have Jokic find him, I think that would be. Oh no, sorry. If he can cut and have not Jokic find him, but have Jokic not block him, I guess. But
yeah, and the thing is also, like you said, his defensive IQ is low. He's not a great off-ball defender. We look at Max Strus as a guy who moves off the ball a lot,
and he can score in both ways. He can shoot the ball solid, and he can finish well.
So we're gonna see, Michael Porter Jr. is gonna have to do a good job of keeping up with him off ball. But just when you look at that matchup in general, these are both teams. I mean, Duncan Robinson's off the bench and he's gonna shoot threes, but
Kyle Lowry is gonna.
Yeah, but
be
like
somewhat effective.
Shooters, those are both team shooters, right?
Yeah,
the starters
and MPJ.
So whoever
Gabe
comes,
Vincent and Jamal Murray is going to be really interesting.
I mean, I'd hope Jamal Murray could win that, but
but you got to see if Gabe Vincent can score on Jamal Murray.
He can.
Yeah, I think that'll be very good.
Whoever comes on top of the Strus Porter Jr. matchup, though, that could swing a game.
I think that the best thing that the Heat can do. You don't want to play into the fact that you're a huge underdog. Like, you are the 8 seed playing the best team in the NBA against the best player in the world. And you don't want to play into that because then you're almost giving yourself an excuse and it's a kind of a weak mindset to have. But the Heat do have to realize that the longer this series goes, the more pressure goes on the Denver Nuggets.
Absolutely.
If this game is in game, like the Heat are supposed to lose this series in 4 or 5.
Not 4. I don't think anyone's expecting a sweep.
No one is, but if they did, people would be like, all right, you know what, the Heat did great,
that's true.
and the
It wouldn't
West
be
was
surprising.
yeah. But if the Heat can steal a game in Denver in these first 2 games, that's massive. And then they take one at home, it's a 2-2 series going into Game 5. That's a must-win game for the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, at home too. And I think
at home,
you look at Game 1. I mean, you think it's early in the series or whatever. That game is going to be very important because for the Heat, you might see a Denver Nuggets team that's a little bit
they're
rusty,
shaky.
You know,
I think that by the 4th quarter, I expect them to be fine. They're the best team in the NBA for a reason. They're well coached, and they're well led. So by the 4th quarter, they should be sharp. And hey, who knows? Maybe they'll be sharp right out of the gate, right off the tip. But if you can take a 7-8 point lead in the first quarter,
you have to just keep it.
You got to keep it going. And the Nuggets will cut it close at the end, but if the Heat can win this game, that would be massive. On the other end of the spectrum, Jokic is, we talked about it earlier on the podcast, how Jokic is one of the most physically fit players in the NBA. He is one of the guys that can play 82 games a season, play 40 minutes a game, and play every single game in the postseason, and he looks like he's barely breaking a sweat by the end of it. Bam Adebayo needs to break Jokic down by the end of this series. He needs Jokic to be tired by the end of the series if they want any chance.
Yeah, and the thing you kind of worry about with the Bam matchup, right, is I think he's going to do his thing on defense. But I think the biggest worry right now isn't actually his defense, but it's his offense.
Yeah, he's going to be a non-factor on offense, so Jokic is almost going to have a free break.
Yeah, and the thing is, we've seen him disappear, or not disappear, but actually just be terrible in big moments. We saw it in, dating as far back to remember the first play-in game when they played the first one was versus the Hawks.
Yeah, the Hawks, and then it was the Bulls, right?
Yeah, and Capella, remember what Capella did to him?
Yeah.
They couldn't get a rebound.
Yeah.
And we've seen, and we've talked about it, Jokic...
Capella's one of the best rebounders in the league.
Capella is, of course, but Jokic, too, he's up there. He gets a lot of offensive rebounds.
And his hands got to be, like, massive because he doesn't even jump.
Exactly.
And he's not taller. He's 7 foot, and Adebayo's probably 6'10", 6'11".
But the other thing we saw in that game was Bam also couldn't score.
This is what the Heat need to do. They need to run the pick and roll a lot, with Bam and with either Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, or even Kyle Lowry. They need to run the pick and roll, and it's not because it's necessarily going to work, but you need to get Jokic to do a little bit on defense, because we saw he was able to easily sweep the Lakers when he was guarding Anthony Davis.
Sweep? Yeah. I forgot that it was a sweep.
They swept the Lakers when he was guarding Anthony Davis. Yeah, he guarded Anthony Davis for 42 minutes a game, and he put up like 25, 10, and 12 every game.
Yeah, and
on like 60% shooting, 50% shooting.
This is why my X factor for the series is actually a man who comes off the bench. It's Kyle Lowry. Look at what the Heat looked like in that Bucks series where he was playing at a high level, and then that Knicks series where he was playing at a high level. That was a different team than what we saw in the Celtics series where he was
very meh in the Celtics series.
And if there's someone who can run a pick and roll, it's that man.
Kyle Lowry. Champion.
Yeah.
And one of the leaders on this team, because as much as Jimmy Butler is a leader on this team, as much as you like to think Udonis Haslem is a leader on this team, Kyle Lowry is a champion. And honestly, we've seen problems with Jimmy Butler as a leader before. I mean, obviously his days in Minnesota were rough, and then in Philly, no traction there.
Yeah, I think that Miami is like all his guys. You know, I think he's good as a leader here.
I think he is too, because
he's trying to buy winning players,
but
more championship DNA can't hurt. You know.
I will say, I like Jimmy Butler's buy-in approach with the business. I mean, we saw in 2020 when he didn't even let his family go to the bubble because I'm on a business trip. Like, he wouldn't even take phone calls. And everyone was kind of laughing at him, and then he showed up.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember we were talking before that Bucks series, during the play in, the end of regular season games. We were like, I kind of think the Heat are a great matchup for the Bucks. Jimmy Butler is going off.
Yeah.
He's great defensively and can guard Giannis, and I mean that's exactly what he did. So I wasn't surprised to see him win there. But after the Eastern Conference Finals, listen, you don't want to take a break, but he didn't even hold the trophy. He told Bam. I just thought it was weird.
I don't know. I like it, and Jokic did the same exact thing actually. Funnily enough,
did he? I didn't.
Jokic said his Western Conference Finals shirt didn't fit. They both have the same mindset. They
I like that.
They both did not care that they won their conference finals. For them, it's about winning the finals, and that's what's great is we have two teams that just these are
the only thing they care about is winning.
Teams. They
that would have been kind of, it would have sucked if the Celtics won, because do they love basketball? Some of them.
That's how the Celtics.
Peyton Pritchard loves the sport.
The Celtics have a lot of issues going on within that locker room. I think we're going to see a much better series with the Heat in it.
Yeah. Jimmy Butler loves basketball. Bam
loves defense.
He loves defense.
I think Bam loves Bam's got to love basketball, because he keeps coming out here after he just delivers some of the worst offensive performances you'll ever see. He somehow got the Bleacher Report main account to tweet the Jarrett Allen
Oh
the
my
lights
gosh.
were bigger than expected.
Yeah.
But
Oh my gosh, that was bad.
I don't think I've ever seen a main company Twitter account just go at a player like that. That's how lost he looked at offense.
By the way, this is a really good stat. Scary for the Heat. Points per 100 matchups. So a little weird analytical stat. Jimmy Butler versus individual defenders. Sits around 27 points per 100 possessions, 28 points on about 50% shooting. That's his average. Aaron Gordon is an outlier. He gets about 12 points on 28% shooting. So,
and that's what we were saying. He's a good matchup for Jimmy even when he's healthy. But
yeah, and now Jimmy's hurt.
The thing is, though, even with all these odds stacked against them, it's like you said, we saw what they did in the bubble to that Bucks team that they had no business beating. We saw what they did in the Bucks team this year, right? We saw how they somehow won that Game 7 after losing 3 in a row. If there's a team that can pull off an upset, it is this Miami Heat team and Heat culture. It just comes down to, really, I think they do absolutely have to steal one of these first 2 games in Denver, which is going to be very hard because we know Denver does not lose at home. They have a great crowd at those games. They also know how to play in the altitude.
Yeah, that was a cool stat. So it was a mile high, of course, for Denver, and the Miami Heat play in 8 feet of elevation. So that is a mile difference. I'm just watching right now some clips of the Heat's zone against the Celtics early in games, and honestly, their zone is just going to get torn apart by the Nuggets.
I mean that's what we're expecting. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, to see the Heat just go away from it.
The one thing the Heat do really well, though, is getting turnovers and scoring off them and capitalizing off other teams' mistakes, which I think was apparent in the
Knicks series.
Yeah. In the Knicks series, but for Denver doesn't turn the ball over very much.
That's true. They keep good care of it because they have one of the smartest passers in the league running that offense.
Yeah.
You know who I can also see playing a big role in this series? We saw him a lot more in the Bucks and Knicks series. It's Kevin Love because they play a little
Shooting.
more of but also with the way that their offense works. Like, the Celtics like to match up punt a lot and get those wings, Brown and Tatum, into isolation. It kind of played Kevin Love off the floor a little
because
bit.
he can't guard him at all. But
we could see him come back a little bit now.
I wonder, by the way, if they do get Kevin Love minutes, who guards him? I mean, it's got to be.
That would so say the starting lineups. What they would then put. It would have to be Caleb Martin back on the bench, which I don't know that you can do the way he's been playing, but theoretically, say they were to do that.
Well, if it was Caleb Martin on the bench, then you would have KCP guard Strus and Michael Porter Jr. has to guard Kevin Love.
Yeah, and that's
a good matchup for the Heat.
That becomes
Strus
interesting.
on KCP.
KCP is a good defender.
Yeah, but Strus got size on him.
Does he? Strus feels big, but he's not. I think he's 6'4". In KCP, I think might be 6'4" too.
KCP is 6'4". Let's check. 6'5", 215, Max Strus, and then.
But I think MPJ on.
What's Kentavious? I'm an idiot.
MPJ on
KCP is
interesting.
6'5", 204. So Strus is essentially the exact same size, but Strus seems a little bit bigger in my opinion. But
Strus, he seems big. He has a presence.
Denver pretty much just needs to continue their fast break approach. They're killing teams on the fast break.
The good thing if you're a Heat fan is, you kind of saw at times the Lakers have the worst fast break defense, but they're a little bit reluctant also to get back, kind of an energy thing and everything. If you're a Heat fan, you know that they're going to be out there giving their 100%, right? They will be back. Will that matter? I don't know. The Nuggets have some of the best players in open floor. I mean, Bruce Brown, we know, is a fantastic
Aaron Gordon
finisher.
in the open floor.
Aaron Gordon,
and then Jokic will get his points any way he needs.
Yeah.
All right, so we have Game 1 tonight. That'll be exciting, and tomorrow we'll have a episode reviewing that game, and that might be our last episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, just calling it now, we said it for Game 1 of the Heat Celtics series. We said we wouldn't be surprised to see a Heat win. I'm just going to put it out there again.
You wouldn't be surprised. I would be.
The Heat have won.
I would be pretty surprised.
The Heat have won Game 1, right, in every single series?
Oh, a Heat win for Game 1. I wouldn't be surprised with a Heat win for Game 1. I would be surprised with a Heat win of the series, though.
I would, but I wouldn't. My tentative prediction is Nuggets in 6, but I don't know.
I'll go Nuggets in 5. I was thinking Nuggets in 6, but if you went Nuggets in 6, I'll go Nuggets in 5. So that'll be exciting, and we'll get back to you with coverage on that game tomorrow. Other news.
The Heat winning this game, though, and me flipping to thinking the Heat are going to win the series. I really think they could pull it off.
All right, we'll see. All right, Monty Williams joins the Pistons.
Massive contract, too.
Yeah, so
6 years, $72 million, with incentives to get it more.
Monty Williams going to Detroit. What does Detroit's roster look like right now?
I kind of love it for Detroit. They have that young roster. You got Cade, Ivy, Duran,
James.
I forgot about the last one.
Marvin Bagley, I like that.
They have that 5th pick, right, which is probably going to be Cam Whitmore. And I don't know.
Unless if Wemby falls.
So
I think Wemby's leg would need to fall off for him to fall to 5.
It's a good young core they have there.
Yeah.
It's a team that I think this year even that was expected to take a jump, and then we saw Cade get injured early on in the season.
They really only have one guy that'll play that's over the age of 30, and it's Bogdanovich. I mean, Alec Burks is
Bogdanovich
31.
also, he's coming off a career year.
Yeah, he had a great season.
Yeah,
that's a fun team. Yeah, he had 21 a game.
Yeah, I think they'll be
50%
fun.
shooting.
And think about what we just saw Monty Williams do. He turned around that Nuggets team,
Yeah,
or not Nuggets,
the
Suns
Suns
team, which at the time kind of didn't look that much different than what this Pistons roster looks like. I'm personally not super high on Monty as a championship caliber coach. I think he got outcoached by Budenholzer in the finals, and that's half the reason they lost, in my opinion, which I think Budenholzer is a pretty good litmus test for coaches. If you're better than him, you probably are a solid coach. If you're worse than him, you're not a championship coach, because he himself is not a championship coach, but is the best regular season coach.
And won a championship, so...
Injuries.
Yes, but I will say, I'm going to make a prediction. The NBA Rookie of the Year is going to be the Detroit Pistons draft pick.
Cam Whitmore? Probably.
Whoever.
It's probably Cam Whitmore.
Whoever they draft is going to be the Rookie of the Year.
We're going to see a historical Rookie of the Year race. I saw a tweet about it the other day, because think about
Scoot.
it. You have Scoot versus Wemby, which is, going to be great and all.
Yeah.
We have Chet eligible for it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hate when people hate on Chet. Just because
Love Chet.
I love Chet.
Chet. For anyone that watched Chet in the Summer League, he looked like a beast.
Oh my gosh.
Summer League Chet was a different animal, and then he just had to go off and play in the program and have LeBron step on his ankle. But oh my, he
That's why LeBron's retiring. He's scared of Chet.
Summer League Chet, like, you saw flashes of kind of like a Jokic type player a little bit. I mean, I think the weight issue is a little bit of an issue, but the good thing is with this year that he had off where he wasn't playing basketball, he put on a little bit of muscle.
Yeah. That's going to be very fun. By the way, this says Victor Wembanyama is 7'2". Yeah, and I'm 5'3".
I thought his last one had him in at 7'4", 3 or 4, yeah.
Anyways, that'll be exciting, and we can cover a little bit more of that tomorrow. The Yankees.
Yeah, they just got a massive infusion as they activated
Josh Donaldson.
3 impact players, including
Josh Donaldson, Giancarlo Stanton. Who's the third?
Tommy
Kahnle back in action. Sending down Cabrera, sending down
Frenchie Cordero.
Yeah, Cordero.
The last was some guy I hadn't even heard.
And then I heard the last guy. So that's exciting for them. After a devastating extra innings loss, after Anthony Volpe wasn't able to get it done with bases loaded, 1 out in the top of the 10th inning, and then shortly after that, it was a ground out. I forget who it was. Frenchie. That's sad. It was completely mismanaged by Boone because we're trying to win baseball games right now. You know what? It was a May baseball game, so I guess you don't need to go with Rizzo, who's beat up.
I don't think Rizzo was actually available. I think they said he was.
So he's not on the IR.
Kind of worry them into thinking he might hit, but obviously if he was available, he would have hit there over Frenchie.
No, he would have hit over Volpe.
Nah, I think you would have left.
No, you would have hit him over Volpe.
You think?
Yep. 100%. Yeah.
But because then if he doesn't get it
ground
done,
into a double play, you can't risk that. And Volpe did ground into a double play actually, but they went home.
Nah. But this AL East race is getting ridiculous.
You gotta win. I mean, of course we did win the series against the Mariners. But gosh, this going into a Dodgers series, off day today, and then a Dodgers series this weekend, you gotta win that series because the NL West is just not as strong as the AL East, and a team like the Dodgers probably wouldn't even be competitive in the AL East right now.
No. Let's not go that far. But they would be in the mix with all these teams.
They would be.
Boston's struggling. We saw that. We saw Manoah is struggling, and in turn, the Blue Jays are struggling. He had another bad outing.
Really?
This is time to officially, if you haven't already, sound the alarm on the Alek Manoah
signing.
Just the Alek Manoah train if you're still riding on it.
He
had an amazing season last year.
Yeah, good season.
But he has really been bad this year.
Yeah. Nothing compared to Garrett Cole.
To the point where they might have to get him out of the rotation. He has like a 5.5 ERA, I think.
You still stay in the rotation with that, though.
Nah, 5.5. He's Alec with a K. But I mean, for the Blue Jays,
5.5 ERA. Yeah, he's 0-3 this year. He's pretty terrible.
Yeah. And they just can't afford that right now. They're faltering in this AL East.
He's 1-6
marathon
on the season. Yeah, and he's supposed to be their ace. That's pretty unfortunate. So, we'll see. Yankees have Dodgers this weekend.
That's going to be a great series for all baseball fans.
Yeah, Giancarlo Stanton's back. Him and Donaldson took a flight to LA.
Whenever you get the two Titans in terms of the big market teams,
it's like a Celtics versus Lakers or like a
not as storied of a rivalry, but it's New York versus LA.
Yeah, well it is because of Brooklyn. It's New York versus Brooklyn, so it's storied, and they had the '48 World Series, I think.
Yeah,
or no,
Celtics Lakers, obviously a whole other.
Yeah, that's Celtics Lakers is more like a
That's like a legitimate rivalry. But I mean, we have some great pitching matchups this series, and I mean
1956 World Series where the Yankees beat the Dodgers in 7.
Yeah, I don't think the players on the team are thinking about that too much.
Bro,
who knows though?
Yeah, I heard Yogi Berra called him up and goes, "Hey, kill him for me."
Yogi Berra alive?
Yeah. Yogi Berra died. Yeah. Oh, he died 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's gonna be sad. But in his memory, we will see this series.
We will win this. We will see this through.
Anytime you see the Yankees and Dodgers match up, just with how good these teams have been in the last decade, you have to wonder, could it be a preview of the World Series? Last time we saw them match up, it was a great series. I want to say it was in 2019, and we didn't see either of those teams actually hold up their end of the bargain in terms of making it to the World Series. We'll see this time around.
What could have been?
They lost to the Nationals
in the first round.
Yeah.
I remember that. We didn't.
We lost in the ALCS to the Astros.
Curveball.
Yeah. No. At that point, they had advanced it. They were using wires.
Sorry, they were using buzzers.
Yeah.
All right, we have a fun little draft today. We're gonna do all-time NBA rosters, but starting 5 and backup 5. We're gonna do a random number generator for the first pick in the draft.
Doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, and it is not gonna be a snake draft.
Yeah,
because did we do a snake draft last time? It was kind of overpowered. It's also not fun. Okay. Random number generator 1 to 100. I'm going to go with 26, DJ LeMahieu.
73.
80. So, You get the first pick in the draft, and you're gonna go with.
I don't know who I'm gonna go with because for team building purposes, if we're looking at I'm trying to build the best possible team, I guess I'll go with MJ because I think that there's a lot of elite ball handlers to kind of do what LeBron does, and I think I like MJ's two-way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're going with LeBron.
Yeah, and I'm going with LeBron with my first round pick. I'm considering not, but I have to because I can't let you get MJ and LeBron.
Yeah. So my second pick is the interesting one because I know who you're picking with your next pick.
Yeah.
Now, how much do we care about positions?
I was gonna put LeBron at point guard, but that's neither here nor there.
Like, do
LeBron is my small forward, by the way.
Okay, but can I put someone in a position that they technically never played?
No. I know what you want to do, and you can't do it.
Well, what do you think?
You want to put Kobe at small forward.
I'm gonna put Kobe at point guard.
At point guard? No.
I don't know.
No.
In my opinion,
If you had LeBron at small forward, I'd let you put Kobe at point guard. Who's taking up the ball?
Hold up, I got an idea.
Jokic? No.
No. Just let me put Kobe at point guard.
All right, bro, that's so unfair. I want a Kobe.
Just wait and see.
If you don't get a ball hand, I'm gonna take every single ball handling big ever. Kevin Durant, power forward.
Wait, what? That's shit.
Yeah.
That's what you're. Oh, interesting. I too am gonna take a power forward.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm taking Magic Johnson.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's my power forward. He's a big man.
Gosh, I'm going with. No point in drafting a center.
Why not?
There's so many. I mean, if I don't get Hakeem, or if I don't get Shaq, if I don't get Kareem, if I don't get.
Okay, that's fair.
You know what I mean? There's so many. I wrote PR for both power forwards. I did it 3 out of the 4 times I put in power forward, I put PR.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a psychological thing. I don't know. Oh gosh, I'm screwed because you took Kobe.
My guy.
I'm gonna go with Kareem at center. I know I just said there's no point in taking a center, but take the best center of all time.
You could corner the market on it. See, that's the thing. Who do you think is? Because for me, it's one of those. There is no
Kareem, Shaq, or Hakeem, in my opinion.
Those are the big 3. I agree.
I don't think Bill Russell's there.
No. I just can't.
Maybe Udonis Haslem in his prime. No.
Yeah. I feel like it's different eras, right? Kareem.
And Wilt. Wilt can be in there too.
No. If Bill Russell's not there, Wilt's not there, and I don't think either of them are there.
I think Bill Russell is a better conversation for GOAT than being a top 3 center. Isn't that crazy? But that's by the way,
and he has no conversation.
He has no conversation for the GOAT, but he has a better conversation for being the GOAT than a top 3 center.
Just because you're like, he has the rings.
Yeah, he has the rings.
You
know who else has the rings? Bill Russell. This is a little bit of a tangent right now, but this argument it drives me crazy because I have some people that I know that are huge Bill Russell stans.
Not me, to clarify.
No. Not as an MJ guy, but.
No, my take is firmly that there's just no singular GOAT.
Yeah,
and there's
that's
a GOAT
fair.
Of errors.
Listen, Bill Russell did what no one in sports will ever do again.
No.
He won 8 in a row, and he won 11 in 13 years. Not only did he do that, he's a gold medalist. He's a 3-time NCAA champion.
I have no idea. I didn't even know he was a gold medalist.
Bill Russell. 11-time champion. 2-time NCAA champion. 1-time gold medalist. Bill Russell's NBA championships were from the year 1957 to 1969. There were 12 teams in the NBA. LeBron James went to 10 straight NBA Finals. LeBron James won the Eastern Conference. No, not 10 straight. He went to 8 straight NBA Finals. The Eastern Conference has 15 teams in the NBA.
That's crazy. I didn't think about it that way.
LeBron James won 8 NBA championships according to 1960s basketball.
Did you come up with that?
Yes. I realized that because
Fire.
I realized that because of how much bickering, and you know I was good because now I get to say it when I don't have a Bill Russell stan screaming in front of my face. Bill Russell is one of the greats. He is not the GOAT. Anyways,
I don't think
I
anyone
guess
is,
my
to be fair, besides your brother. Or I don't think
my
anyone.
dad too.
Alright, so who am I taking?
No, it's my pick.
No, I'm a ride first pick.
Yeah, so now we both have 3 guys.
Yeah, I picked.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Ooh, so, you know what? I'm gonna do it just to be annoying.
Bill Russell.
I'm picking my 6th man, Steph Curry.
You're such a. I don't. What am I supposed to do? Okay, LeBron is going. Okay, LeBron is my point guard. KD is my small forward. Tim Duncan's my power forward. Freaking out. So I picked Tim Duncan. He's my power forward. LeBron is my starting point guard. KD is my starting small forward. Kareem is my starting center. Matt has Michael Jordan and Steph Curry, and then a bunch of nonsense.
Whoa. Steph Curry's off the bench. And there's no nonsense going on this team. This is a very...
You could put Kobe at small forward and Magic at point guard, and I'd be fine with it.
Nope, we can't do that. That's not
Well,
what...
who are you even going to put it? Just pick your small forward, because I'm taking him next round.
Do I want to pick him, though?
I'm taking him next round. That's your warning.
Do I want to pick him? That is the question. We might want some depth. I think this team needs a little bit of depth. You know, fill out the bench a little bit.
If you take this guy, I'm going to lose my mind, because this is my next pick, actually. I'm not taking.
You know, I think we're gonna need some size off the bench. I'm gonna take Dirk.
For your backup power forward?
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, second best power forward of all time. I have to go with him so you don't take him. I'm taking Allen Iverson for my starting shooting guard.
I don't know about that.
Who is the third best shooting guard in NBA history?
I think personally James Harden's better than him.
Backup point guard for me. He's not a shooting guard. He's
not
a
if
shooting
I
guard.
don't take him first.
You could put Steph Curry at shooting guard and James Harden at point guard. Take him. See what I do.
You know who my small forward is?
Who?
It's Giannis.
Oh, you know what? I like that. Nice pick. Backup center. Shaq Diesel.
Okay.
Now the only problem with this is my centers are so dominant, but you're gonna get Kareem, get Hakeem, and whoever with your last picks. I need to worry about. You have 2 power forwards. I have to make sure that you don't pick some random dude and put him at shooting guard.
It might happen.
You don't even have 2 power forwards. You do have 2 power forwards because you have Giannis.
This team needs a little bit of shooting. We're picking Larry Bird.
All right, I was about to take him next pick, so.
That's who I assume you were talking about with the small forward. Right?
It was. It wasn't Allen Iverson. I was gonna take him. I'm gonna take. Gosh, I'm really stuck here. Okay, do a little recap. Right now, my starting 5 is LeBron, AI, KD, Tim Duncan, Kareem. And I have backup center Shaq. Matt's starting 5 is Kobe, MJ, Giannis, Magic Johnson, point guard through power forward, in that order. Doesn't have a center. Backup point guard Curry, backup small forward Larry Bird, backup power forward Dirk. Starting point guard, backup point guard, I'm going to go James Harden. If you want an explanation, watch yesterday's episode, or Monday's episode. Tuesdays.
I'm gonna have to take Hakeem as my center just to make sure you don't do any shenanigans, because you could have picked him as your backup power forward.
No, because then I don't have any shooting.
You could have done it though, and
Well-
that would have put me in quite the pickle.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to take Wilt then.
That would have caused some problems.
Oh my gosh. Kawhi Leonard as my backup shooting guard.
Interesting.
I've yet to decide his position.
He's just on the team.
He is on the roster. I know who my shooting guard is going to be actually.
You know, I have my shooting guard open.
All right, take whoever. I don't know.
Um,
Your team is easier to draft right now because
you know what? I think Steph might end up being my backup shooting guard if I go with what I'm doing. I don't know.
By the way, at the end of this, we're gonna count how many positions are the players' actual positions. At any point in their career, if they played these positions, I'll give a point.
Magic played power forward.
Nope, he played center.
No, he played some power forward. He did. I know that for sure. And I bet you young Kobe ran a little point guard. Froby was in point guard. And then MJ is a shooting guard. We know Giannis played small forward at a point, right?
Yeah, he did.
Hakeem ran his center.
Oh, what? Magic Johnson never played power
That
forward?
was never his start.
Oh, no!
Yep.
His resurgence season with the Lakers,
Yup.
he played power forward in 96?
Exactly.
Are you kidding me?
Power forward.
Can't even complain
Why was he a shooting
anymore.
guard? That's just inaccurate.
Butch Lee played point guard.
That's not who played point guard.
I don't know.
I can tell you who did. Wait, I'm forgetting his name for a second. Let me see the roster. Is what's Norm Nixon. Stormin Norm Nixon. He was the point guard. Because
Okay.
he was
Why
the
did I
vet.
leave that page?
I remember that from Winning Time. Great show. HBO.
I never watched it because the first episode really weirded me out.
What happened in the
The first scene is an orgy.
I mean,
What are you gonna do, man?
See, that's what Magic brings to the team. We're gonna have some amazing.
What is the pick?
I'm just trying to think pure fit. I think I kind of need.
Don't take this guy. I'm gonna blow.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna go with T-Mac. I was originally actually thinking Jason Kidd and then move Steph to shooting guard to get kind of some playmaking on the team. But I'd like T-Mac as kind of a dynamic scorer to kind of. We don't really have any ISO off the bench. Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna go. James Harden's gonna have the ball. We're gonna have shooters around him, and Shaq is gonna take the ball. Reggie Miller's my backup shooting guard over Vince Carter because he doesn't need the ball.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh, actually, taking
No.
back my pick, and I'm going.
No takebacks.
Kawhi's gonna play power forward because you're not taking this guy.
Who knows? I could.
All right, who are you taking? Your backup center? Yeah, okay.
See, this is where I run into problems, right? Because it's like there's obviously the big three of centers, right? There's Hakeem, there's Shaq,
Kareem.
and there's Kareem, right?
I finished my roster by the way because you're not taking this guy.
Who? I guess. But so
It's a good fit.
we got who do I? Really, what I'm thinking here is I just need a big body, right? Like, I kind of don't want to pick Wilt out of principle, just because I feel like Wilt probably couldn't hang with your centers in terms of, like, what? What?
He didn't make the team.
What team?
This all-time team with reserves. What?
Wild. I don't know. Like, it's tough because You got Shaq is just so dominant. I think I'm gonna make a weird pick here. I'm gonna pick Dwight Howard.
Okay. No, I mean he's gonna get absolutely destroyed, but
we have size off the bench.
Dirk Nowitzki and Larry Bird. See how they guard Shaq.
You got
I
no
moved.
size off the bench.
I have great defenders.
No, you don't. Ray Allen and Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
And James Harden.
So you way to spoil my pick. Kawhi Leonard is my power forward. Ray Allen is moving to the small forward. My team is going to score 160 points a game.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Look at our starting. We have Kobe guarding point of attack. Kobe, you knew he could guard up back in the day.
Yeah, because he played against LeBron. I wonder what their head-to-head matchups was like.
Kobe's who's your shooting guard again? Kobe's gonna guard Allen Iverson. He's not guarding LeBron. MJ's guarding LeBron.
Oh, and what happens to MJ when he sees someone that was born in 1980?
MJ won Defensive Player of the Year how many times?
Against who? Against Reggie Miller.
Against dogs.
Reggie Miller.
MJ is gonna give LeBron hell, right? And LeBron, you have him at point guard. He's gonna be out there facilitating.
You know, the only good thing about your team is that you have Larry Bird, so MJ doesn't have to face him.
Giannis, no, Larry Bird's not starting. Larry Bird's spark plug.
Yeah, it's good that you have him on your team, so MJ doesn't have to play against Larry Bird because he's never won a game against him.
Okay, but that's not his own fault. Giannis he can't hide, you know? Coach Budenholzer was letting him not guard KD while KD torched all of his teammates. I'm going to have Giannis on KD. That's a tough matchup, right? And then Magic versus Tim Duncan could be a little bit problematic. I won't lie. But on the other end, Magic is going to be giving him hell, you know? He is going to be playmaking, dishing the ball to all these guys.
Michael Jordan in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference first round against the Boston Celtics in 1986 missed 19 field goals.
He had 63 points.
He missed 19 shots.
That's a disingenuous. He shot over 50%.
Shot 54%. That was a joke. And he only played 53 minutes.
Look at the flexibility my team has, by the way. If we don't want to do this...
Larry Bird, 56 minutes. That is real basketball. 53 minutes?
And guess what? He's on my team.
Yeah.
I couldn't pick Wilt out of principle.
Especially since we were talking about
we were just going in on him. Technically, he probably wouldn't have the body.
I think I have the only guy that's not in the NBA 75 in James Harden. Oh, no, he got in.
Dwight wasn't in it, right? That was a snub.
Oh, that was another one?
Yeah.
I think James Harden didn't get it.
No, Harden was in.
To recap, I have LeBron, AI, KD, Tim Duncan, Kareem. Best starting five. James Harden, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, Kawhi, Shaq. Shaq is the only guy that's getting minutes off the bench.
Whoa, that's not how it works. You got to play all 10.
James Harden also gets minutes. Ray Allen, sometimes. Kawhi, he's guarding MJ.
Kawhi is starting now. That's how it works.
Bro, MJ shouldn't start. And then Matt's lineup is Kobe, MJ, Giannis, Magic, Hakeem. Hakeem is going to get destroyed by this guy.
No, Hakeem was an amazing defensive center.
Hakeem was a great pick. Stephen, Tracy, Larry.
Whoa. Oh, yeah.
Dirk, and Dwight.
I won't lie. If I were you, I would have picked Hakeem instead of Shaq because I think Hakeem was the best matchup against those guys for me to pick defensively.
Sorry, I just picked an absolute dog.
Look at the flexibility. If we want to go small.
This isn't called flexible. This is called random.
That is flexible.
This is called positionless basketball.
Yeah, exactly. And we can go small and sub Steph Curry in. We have Steph Curry coming off the bench.
All right, let's do a quick top 5 NBA players all time. We have time.
T-Mac, Larry Bird, Dwight.
All right, so Matt's top 3 NBA players all time. What was it for? T-Mac, Larry Bird, and then it was Dirk.
Yeah.
You said, and then maybe Dwight Howard.
Yep. Those were
all right. Number 1.
I can't tell you. There is no definitive number 1.
LeBron James.
No, we're putting MJ and LeBron in a tie.
/ Bill Russell.
My take will forever be that the game of basketball has changed too much to say one is definitively better than the other because they essentially play different sports. No.
So all right. So number 1 is LeBron and Michael Jordan. Number 3,
GOAT. Say GOAT of the 80s/90s and GOAT of the 2000s.
All right, let's do that. Let's do the greatest. Okay, the best player from the 60s. Bill Russell.
Bill.
Won it too many times. Had too many MVPs. Had too many.
Actually,
Bill Russell played
2010s and on because Kobe is 2000s.
No, LeBron. Oh yeah, sure. Tim Duncan.
Kobe.
Yes, Tim Duncan.
Kobe is better.
Tim Duncan won 4 rings.
Cool.
In that time.
He had Popovich, Tony Parker, Ginobili. Don't say he has Shaq. That
would be too good of a
That's not
point.
relevant. Yeah.
Who was his coach?
It was Phil.
Phil Jackson.
Phil is not better than Pop. 2000 Phil is not better than Pop.
Yeah, because Phil doesn't know how to adjust to the game. 1970s, Kareem. 1980s, it's actually a tie between Larry and Magic. 1990s, Charles Barkley.
No.
MJ. 2000s, it's a tie between
No, it's just Kobe.
Kobe and Tim Duncan.
No, it's just Kobe.
2000s, NBA Finals.
Kobe dominated the start of the decade, and then he had no teammates.
All right, so it's Kobe, Tim Duncan, Ben Wallace, against Kobe, Tim Duncan, Dwayne Wade, Tim Duncan.
No. Dwayne Wade with the assistance of refs.
And then it was Doc Rivers.
And then Kobe.
And then it was.
And then Kobe.
And it was Derek Fisher, and then it was Dwight Howard. Well, he was not on this team. It was Derek Fisher, and then it was Pau Gasol.
And yes, we are including 2000 and 2010 for the sake of my narrative. So,
fine.
Kobe.
20 / LeBron.
No.
All right, and then all time, LeBron.
No.
2010s
and
2020s
so far. Who do you think will end up being though at the end of the 2020? Who will be the 2020 GOAT?
LeBron.
No.
If LeBron wins another ring, it's LeBron, and it'll be undoubtedly.
But what?
He will have 2 rings in the 2020s.
When would he win another one? Let's be honest.
Next year.
I think this was the window.
No. LeBron's not. LeBron window is not.
That's
over.
true. Next year's the end of the window though.
No.
Once
his son is that dog.
Once you get to the Bronny team up time, then that's when the window's over in my opinion.
That's the farewell tour.
Yeah.
The farewell tour is Game 7 of the NBA Finals, where LeBron, instead of passing the ball to Rondo, passes the ball to his son, who bricks the shot. LeBron goes down the lane and yams it on Nikola Jokic's head when he is wearing a New York Knicks uniform.
What?
And he brings a chip to the city of New York, to the Mecca of the Madison Square Garden. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of the Sideline Show. We have an episode coming tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great day and tune in next time.